journey to Sikkim, a voyage to the mystical land of Buddhism and peace, a journey through forests of shal and teak, a passage through valleys of flowers. The legendary British botanist cum explorer J.T. Hooker said that it contained more than all the flora of alpine Europe and North America put together, and much more. These prayer wheels carry the Mahamantra, Om Mane Pema Hum Re, written on them. When they turn, they are meant to usher in benevolence for all 6 realms, not just the individual, which is the essence of Mahayana Buddhism, practiced here in this unspoiled paradise. Prayers go on inside with readings from the Pang Labsol Pecha, or the scripture for the Pang Labsol, while devotees and the curious, many of them from foreign climes, gather for the great dance to begin. These drummers, or Gangdungpas, welcome the Dzongha, the red-faced aspect of Khanche Dzongha, who is ceremonially ushered from the main shrine. After the Dzongha takes his seat, the revered Mahakala is welcomed for his performance. As the year passes by, autumn sets in. The main festival during the winters is the Gutor Cham. We are now inside the Phodong monastery of the Kagyu sect, a day before Utor Cham, while senior monks offer prayers, among rituals being the clapping of hands. After prayers, the lamas have Shiv Chi, or community dinner, at 5 in the evening, all sitting in the compound of the Phodong Gumpa, a tradition as old as Vajrayana Buddhism itself, and carefully retained here. Dinner over, the lamas retire, for they must get up and start the prayers again tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the morning, preparing for the Cham. Early next day, the Gutor Cham begins with Serkhyam, invoking the deities of all 10 directions to come and weed out all ignorance, negative virtues and sins from the area. The subsidiary dancers carry all the ritual objects and the prayer utensils, handling sacred goblets with water, representing nectar and rice in their left hands, which they sprinkle from time to time. The effigy of the evil, called Ruta, is placed on the ground, while the black hat dancer, using a magical black cloth and other prayer objects, invoked all negative virtues and all sins to take their seats inside the Ruta. Meanwhile, the Ruta lies on the ground while the stag takes position. Of all the animal heads, the stag, called Shao in Sikkimese, is the most important. For after death, it is the stag that will convey the soul to Shinji Chiokli Gyalpo, the Death King, or the equivalent of Yamraja, who is the judge of the balance of a person's right and wrongdoings in this world. After a prolonged stylized dance sitting in front of the Ruta, the Shah finally hacks it into pieces. And sprinkles the pieces to reach all the deities of the 10 directions. The structure has several tiers, the different realms. Food items are all given to the deity, and later, when the evil will be tackled, the evil itself will be stuffed into the Mahakala's mouth to be devoured. The black hat dancer throws arrows at a haystack, which is the symbolic universe of evil. The Mahakala is shorn of the decorations and himself enters the universe of evil and bursts into flames, destroying evil in its own universe. As the sun goes down in a halo of red, peace and purity is ushered in. With the inevitability of nature, the time comes for the flowers to bloom, particularly the rhododendron. Back at the Pemiyangsi monastery, it is now time for the grand Guru Thamar dance, as the devotees stream in, and a village fair adds gaiety and grips the ambience. Then comes the massive Guru Dragmar dance, with a mask that is about 12 feet from tip to toe, weighing some 65 kilograms, worn by a single dancer, perhaps the largest and the heaviest single piece of dance costume in the world. The dancer's eyes are somewhere near the chest of the mask. Hence, he can see nothing. So these lines of white chalk are drawn on the ground, around the circle of the compound, with circular spaces meant for the dancer to rotate around the mask's axis. These lines are the only thing that the Lama can see from inside the mask. Hence the dance takes enormous concentration, for tripping is easy, and that would be the most damaging thing for dharma. On the dancer's right hand is the mighty Dorji, or thunder, and on his left a symbolic human heart. Snakes roll down from the rear of the mask, skulls atop his mask, and the mantra Hum is written on a brass plate on his chest. Hum means peace, for that is the end of all desire, and thus of all evil, according to Buddhist philosophy. The Guru Thamar dance also sees the destruction of evil by cutting, burning, and in the end, burying of the ashes of evil, so that peace prevails. In the end, youths gather around the embers of the evil and bury it, circling it clockwise and then anti-clockwise, shouting words of victory, peace, universal deliverance. So how come there is so much apparent violence of cutting, burning, burying, and so forth, when the religion is Buddhism? Vajrayana Buddhism of Guru Rinpoche says that destroying evil is an act of compassion, whereby the evil is also released from the cause of his evilness, worldly existence, and sins. Which is why the prayer wheels turn, and with them turn the Mahamantra. Om Mane Pema Hungri. Deliverance to all sentient beings. from the eternal cycle of birth.